One of the things I love about my current lifestyle is I get to go places that usually aren't on people's bucket lists. I get to stay in places where locals stay, so I kind of get like a true local experience. And I get to see places that maybe weren't on my radar. This week, I am in Cleveland, Ohio. This is actually my second full day here. Yesterday, I worked, I went to the grocery store, and then I just kind of checked out the neighborhood area that I'm staying in. Apparently on Wednesday nights, they do concerts in the park. The lady that I'm staying at her house, watching her cat, left me her like lawn chair so that I could go to the concerts, which was really sweet. The hard part is the way that I would normally go would be on their rapid like light rail, but for some reason it's not running close to where I'm staying, so I have to go find the bus bridge. One of the things that I'm learning to love about Cleveland is you can actually buy your bus rapid transit pass on your phone through the transit app, which is what we used in Salt Lake. So it makes it super easy instead of having to go and like find a ticket booth and make sure I have cash on me. Since the light rail isn't working by where I'm at, I have to take a couple buses, and trying to figure out like where the connections are when the city is going through a lot of construction time is a little bit of an experience, but it's fun. Like I would never get to see this part of the town if I wasn't using public transportation. I hope I'm in the right spot. A couple bus stops later, it's a protest going on, a couple museums around, a couple memorials. This is a cool place. One of the best parts about summer is going to concerts in the park, and I was really fortunate when I was in Bangkok to be able to go to a concert in the park in the middle of the city, and it was a wonderful experience. It was shadowed by the fact that I kept looking around because I kept thinking that one of the monitor lizards was going to come around and eat me. There's a really cute jazz group playing right now. This is summer. I guess they do it here in the Wade Oval every summer. Every Wednesday night. They call it Wade Oval Wednesdays or something like that. And there's tons of like food trucks around. It was a fun concert. The openers got a lot more love than the main event. The last little Italy I was in was in San Francisco, so it's kind of fun to be back. What a fun night! Concert in the park followed up by an amazing meal and dessert in Little Italy. Fun little story, the last time I was in Little Italy was in San Francisco with my mom, and we had gotten off the bus and we could smell something delicious, something sweet, and we literally were just kind of walking around, you know, like sniffing, trying to figure out where the smell was coming from, and it was this little hole-in-the-wall bakery that we ended up buying Well, I ended up buying a lot of stuff, and it just brought back happy memories. So I had dinner at an amazing family-owned restaurant. I mean, the guy that started the restaurant from Sicily, came to the States after being a World War II prisoner of war, opened up the restaurant, and is still run by his family. I believe his 2 grandsons run it. So it was absolutely delicious. I wanted to cry over my lasagna. It was that good. They hand make all their pasta, made to order. So I did wait a good 30 minutes for my meal. Totally worth it. And then of course across the street was an amazing bakery that I got some fun stuff. I got a sfogliatella. I got a cannoli that she hand piped, because if you know, you don't let them sit because they'll get soggy. And a couple other like fun little cookies that I will probably try as soon as I get home. So I'm just gonna try to figure out how to get home on the bus with all my stuff and a full belly. Can't wait to see what tomorrow brings. Okay, so I made it back home and I wanted to show you what I got from the bakery. So this is a bag just full of fun little cookies. I've got like thumbprint cookies, which are just pretty standard. I've got a macaroon, which is this guy. So macarons are the sandwich cookies. These are macaroons, and they're so good. They're coconut. But the thing I really wanted to show you, my hand-piped cannoli that she piped right in front of me, which I'm gonna devour in just a minute. But this is a sfogliatella. I don't know if you can see that. Looks like a lobster tail. So sfogliatella is Italian for like thin leaf. It was created or invented actually over 200 years ago in Campania, Italy by a nun. And so what you do is, see how this pastry kind of flares out like a lobster tail? You roll the pastry out super duper thin, kind of like phyllo, and you roll it into a thick log with some fat of some kind in between the layers. And when the fat cooks, when it evaporates, it creates steam, which creates these layers because it pushes apart the pastry. But you roll it into a thick log and then you slice it so it kind of looks like a really compressed cinnamon roll, and then you fill it. This one is filled with ricotta, oh my gosh, and orange. Oh my god, it's so good. Yeah, I'm not gonna eat all of this tonight, but it's so special to try different types of pastries and desserts when you travel. Not necessarily something you would go for. They had macarons there, which I could have gotten. They had tiramisu, they had creme brulee, but sometimes it's fun to try the more unique pastries. Okay, I want you to hear this. I think my bus driver was pretending to be like a race car driver, and he honked so many times. It was absolutely hilarious. But I am in downtown Cleveland. This is Cleveland Public Square. I'm just waiting for the last bus to go check out the West Side Market. The West Side Market was built in 1912, so it's over 100 years old, and it's been ranked like one of the top public places in the US. So, and it's pretty cool. The market is like the produce. It's so hard because I already bought all my produce that I need, but it all looks so good. So I did a quick pass by, and I'm gonna go see if I can find it. I saw that there were some people sitting up on a second level. I'm gonna go see if I can find that before I make my decision. The one place that I did want to get stuff from don't sell hot food. It was, I think, Mama Pierogies. I really wanted a pierogi, but you have to buy them and like take them home and cook them there. So. This is really cool because it reminds reminds me of the markets that I used to visit, especially in Vietnam. These ones just smell a little bit more pleasant because there's not as much raw meat, so it's a little bit nicer of a smell. So I guess coming when the market was getting ready to close wasn't the best idea, but they're only open till 5, and so yeah, my choices were a little bit limited, but I did get a calzone. It was hard because a lot of places that had hot food, they stop reheating it or stop heating it up for you or cooking it at 4 o'clock, and it's a little bit after that. So that's okay. It smells really, really good. I also got some really fun pastries, of course. It's extremely hot. Whew. Oh, a good cheese bowl. So the first fun treat that I got came in a cute little bag, and I've heard about this. I've never had it before. It's a cute little maple candy. First heard about this actually on Friends. There was an episode where they go up to Canada and or Vermont or something, and so I figured we're close to Canada. Give it a try. So it kind of tastes like the glaze on a maple bar on the donut. It's pretty good. There's like no real chew to it. It just kind of like dissolves in your mouth. Put that away for later. Okay, so the next fun thing that I got, can't really say it. It's called a Davos tort. So it's really sticky. You can kind of see the layers. Pretty good. I'm not really sure like what this is on top. It's almost bready rather than like cakey. Not my favorite. The last fun pastries I got were, of course, some macarons. So this is key lime. You have to get pistachio, lavender, the buckeye, which she said it's chocolate with peanut butter. This one just looked fun. It's Fruity Pebbles. I'd heard that Cleveland had these script signs kind of scattered throughout the city, but I had no idea that I was going to be close to one. It's down the street, like maybe a 10-minute walk away from the West Side Market in Ohio City. Coming to Cleveland, honestly, one of the first things I did was I checked the Cleveland Browns football schedule, because I figured, I'm in Cleveland at the beginning of August. Surely I'm here in time for preseason to start for the NFL. Too early. So then I thought, oh, the next town that I'm going to next week is also a huge football town, and I would love to see that team play. They're away. Ugh. So it's not on the cards for me to go to an NFL game in the near future. So I did the next best thing. Go to a baseball game. So I figured if I couldn't go to a football game, the next best thing for me would be to go to a baseball game. It so happened that the Cleveland Guardians, that's what they're called now, are in town. They're hosting the Minnesota Twins right now. It's actually a really big game. I was a little nervous because ballpark food is pretty expensive, but I guess every Friday night they do dollar hot dogs, and even though I'm used to the big Dodger dogs that are really good, couldn't pass up dollar hot dogs, so I got a couple.
There were two almost back-to-back home runs. Both of them were at the wall. It's the end of regulation. Bottom of the ninth just ended. Oh my gosh. I'm staying because there's fireworks.
Fun night. I tried vlogging a little bit earlier on the bus, but it was packed and crazy, but I had such a fun night at the baseball game. I grew up going to baseball games. I grew up playing baseball. You know, Dodger fans, we are just built different. So I will just leave it at that. Now I have to quickly charge everything and get ready because tomorrow's gonna be an awesome day. I love Cleveland. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Museum along with everybody else in Cleveland, but this is such a cool place to see like the birth of rock and roll and how it evolved. Tons of memorabilia, tons of fun interactive things, but it's really dark and really crowded. There are a ton of cool exhibits. They have a special one for 1984, the year 1984, because it's apparently considered to be one of the best years for music, and of course I agree because that's the year I was born. And Van Halen is one of my favorite groups, and of course that's when Eddie Van Halen released 1984. But I think some of my favorite things about this museum have been to see the musical instruments and to see the sheet music. I mean, the costumes are awesome and they're kind of iconic, but for me as a musician, I love seeing the sheet music and like the notes and like all the scratches and stuff on the actual music itself, so you can see like the process of making this music, and the instruments are really cool. And I think my other favorite thing here is they have a section about the different cities that were influential in creating rock music. And so they have, you know, Detroit, they have Memphis, they have San Francisco, they have London. It's really cool. They also obviously have a huge section about Elvis and controversial opinion. I am not an Elvis Presley fan. I can appreciate what he did for music, but I don't like his music. I don't like him, but he made a huge impact in the music industry. There are also tons of places where you can like try out musical instruments, the makeshift garage. I love how they had a whole section dedicated to female artists, which was really awesome. They had a video playing with clips of some of my favorite artists, and so that was just really fun to take a minute and, I don't know, just enjoy. Because sometimes when you come to like museums, you kind of get shuffled from place to place. You don't actually have time to really like sit and think and really enjoy what's going on. So that was really fun. So now I'm gonna go to lunch at a restaurant that's owned by one of my favorite chefs. Miss these big city vibes. Ugh, so much noise, so much traffic, so many different smells, cool architecture, so many different people. I love visiting places off the beaten track, but I am a big city girl at heart. Lunch was delicious. I didn't vlog while I was in there because I was hungry. I wanted to enjoy it, and there were a lot of people around. It's always a little bit awkward. There are those scooters everywhere, and it's really funny because there's a big old sticker that says no riding on sidewalks. What are they kidding? People can't read. So a massive shout out to my friend Megan, who encouraged me to go check out the Heinen's grocery store downtown. It's in like the Cleveland Trust building. I couldn't find too much information on it, but it had this beautiful rotunda with glass, stained glass, and then there were murals kind of like around the top of the dome that I'm assuming depict the history of like the settling of Cleveland back in the, I don't know, a couple hundred years ago. She also suggested that I go check out the public library, which is where I'm going.
Just
having a little concert in the reading garden that's between the main library and one of the wings. That's awesome. And she's really good. Okay, fun fact that I just learned from that sign, but the Cleveland Library in 1890 was the first public library to adopt the open shelf policy, meaning that all the books were on the shelves and patrons could just go and pull the books themselves. Before that, you had to have a librarian like go in the back and get the book for you. That is awesome. If you're going to a major US city, I think you should add visiting their public library to your itinerary. The architecture is usually phenomenal, and it's really funny because I remember when I was going to Boston and I wanted to go check out the public library, and a lot of people were like, why would you go do that? Until I took pictures of it and showed them. It looked like Hogwarts. It was stunning, and this one was no different. International Women's Air and Space Museum, and it's at this cute little regional airport that sits right on Lake Erie. And it's a small museum, but it's dedicated to women who were influential in flight. They have a whole section dedicated to NASA astronauts, not just Americans, but I saw some Japanese, some Russian, and some Soviet women up there as well, with a cute little like book with biographies and stuff so you can read about them and learn about them. And they have some really cool aircraft as well. My favorite is this purple one right here. I couldn't leave this part of the country without stopping in the historic town of Kirtland, Ohio. It played a major role in the early days of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, specifically in 1832. This is a place I grew up hearing about, but I honestly never thought that I would be here. So after church I grabbed an Uber, and I'm gonna spend the afternoon wandering around learning more about the specific buildings that are still standing and soaking in as much as I can. Last few months of traveling to different countries around the world, it's been really fun to visit churches and temples and synagogues and places of worship from all different kinds of religions, and so it's kind of fun to also throw mine in there as well. And also just remembering it's a part of American history, no matter what your religious affiliation or non-affiliation is. Wraps up my time here in Cleveland. Just on my way to a quick early dinner. It's my last sadly meal in Cleveland, because tomorrow I'm going to try to eat the rest of the groceries I have in the house, and then I have to pack, and I have to do that tonight. So hoping to get that done, hoping to get to bed early. Tomorrow I work, and then I have like an hour until I have to leave for the bus stop, because I am taking a bus to my next destination, which is kind of funny because the last time I took a bus was in a different country. I have yet to take a bus in the United States, so it'll be interesting to compare the two. I'm hoping it's not going to be adventure packed. Hoping it's just going to be boring, a couple hours on the bus, and then I'll get picked up in my new city. I'll see you there.